Alright guys, it is Megan Blinka here, and I'm going to talk to you guys about how I built my team, how I got to this point in my business, and more importantly, how you can do it too. So I just want to start by sharing it doesn't happen overnight. This isn't something that you can just say, oh, I want to build this business and go to the top. Like it takes hard work and grit. When I talked about personal development earlier, one of my favorite books in the world is Grit, and it really just shows you that you've got to work hard, and nothing worth having is going to come easy. So I want to start with that because it is not something that you're going to snap your fingers at and be at the top, or that's going to be easy. I love it. I love what I do, but I can't say that it's easy. It's very fulfilling, it's very rewarding, and it's a lot of fun. But I sit here today approaching my 4-year anniversary with coaching, and while it's been an amazing journey, I had to start first. And what I got started with 4 years ago was working on myself. Once I got my own results and I understood how important it is to follow an actual program and the nutrition that goes with that program and leaning into support with a coach and a challenge group, I started to share it. And I really focused on building my business through social media. I focused on my Facebook page. I focused with the friends I already had who already trusted me, my family, and I talked to them. And I began to share with them what it did for me. I think that's the most powerful thing is your story. There are transformation pictures all over the internet. You can make anyone's jaw drop with some before and after picture, but the best story that you can share with your friends and family is going to be your own. When I started and lost the weight, like physically that was great. Like I felt better, I had more energy, my clothes fit more comfortably, and that was all wonderful. But after that, I began to notice changes in my digestive system. And as somebody who used to suffer from Crohn's disease, I found that the symptoms were gone. I was able to fully ditch my medicine when I changed my lifestyle. This doesn't just apply to Crohn's disease. That can apply to so many other lifestyle diseases. And I was like, okay, I'm going to talk to more people about this, because how many people are struggling with a lifestyle disease, or their parents are struggling with a lifestyle, or a sibling, whatever it is, and you have the power to change that through what you've done and what you've learned and what you can share with other people. So I really focused on the people who knew me because they trusted me and I could talk to them. As I realized that this was something that I wanted to do more of, I began then investing in the growth of myself to grow my business. We have incredible training opportunities within our team that allow you to stay plugged into trainings as long as you keep going up, no matter where you are. So I started with our new coach training, our new coach training group, and I treated it like a job. It was not some group that somebody added me onto on Facebook that I said, maybe I'll check into it. I joined that new coach training group with a full-on focus that this was my job. My coach was my boss, and when she told me to do something, I went and did it. And I'm a huge believer that if you follow the successful people, follow what they do, and then duplicate it. Don't copy it, but duplicate it. Do what they tell you to do, that you can have that success too. So I did what my coach told me to do. When she would tell me to share something on social media, I shared it. If she told me to listen to a training or read a book or whatever it was, I did it. And then beyond that, I spent my free time YouTubing. I actually was someone who used to sit on the couch every evening, eventually when the kids would go to bed, and we would just watch TV, mindless TV that added no value to our lives. When I started coaching, totally ditched that. To this day, I still actually don't watch TV. I watch This Is Us and Big Bang. So 2 shows, however many episodes those are a year, and we DVR them and skip the commercials. Like, that's as much TV as I watch. And I'm not saying you have to give up all your TV, but that's what I did. Because I was able to still be mom during the day, to be home with my kids, to get them to and from school, to go to play dates, take them to activities, run our errands, whatever it may be. And then in the evening, I would work. We'd get the kids to bed. My husband still watches shows, and that's fine. And I would come in my office or sit at the kitchen table or sit on the couch with earbuds in, and I would do my coach training groups. I would do the next level training that I was in. I would grab YouTube videos. I would create content. I would think, what can I do that would allow me to add value to someone else's life? What blog post could I put together that would help somebody? I did a lot of recipes. I found everybody likes new recipes, so I blogged recipes consistently. And I remember people saying it's going to take you a consistent year. So I kept that in my mind. Okay, I'm not going to slow down for a year. I actually feel like it's really more like 2 before you really get the hang of it. But in my mind, I was told, don't stop for a year. So for 1 straight year, I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And you don't have to. This is what I did. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, no matter if my kids slept 2 hours the night before, 10 or 12, I got up. I did my workout, and I would work until they got up. And then once they got up, I went to mom mode. And at the time they were younger, so there wasn't preschool yet. So we were, did our thing during the day. If they took a quiet time, maybe I would, check in with my challengers or follow up with potential customers who were reaching out to me, asking me questions, whatever that may be. But really, it all came when they went to bed. And it started with just 45 minutes, maybe an hour, catch a YouTube video or two. And then as I realized that, like, this has true potential and I have potential to really build this to something, I then began treating it like a business. I eventually got help with my kids so that it wasn't just me squeezing in late night hours. I mean, I think at a point I was staying up until 12 or 1 in the morning, still trying to get up at 5, and that wasn't working. So I'm like, okay, if I want to make this a business, I have to treat it like a business. So I then started getting help. It was 1 day a week for 2 hours. But 1 day a week for 2 hours, I would have someone watch my kids. That would allow me to do a blog post. That would allow me to create content. That would allow me to make phone calls and talk to people. And then as we're getting along in the business, and then, my daughter starts preschool, and then we start with my son in preschool, and we start doing those things that allow me to then establish business hours. So it changed and evolved as my kids changed, as my goals changed. But I did get help with it. I did eventually get some help during the day. And even now, my daughter is in first grade now. So she's gone from 8:30 till 3:30. And then my son, he goes to school just 2.5 hours a day, Monday through Friday. So it gives me a consistent time. It's not about the amount of time you have. It's about the consistency and the amount of focus you can put in. You can't count work time scrolling Facebook, but if you can be laser focused and sit down for an hour a day, every single day, and we go over the vital behaviors of doing the personal development, which I talked to, working on yourself, being proof first that this works so that you can share your story with others, and then inviting other people to join you. And that's the thing, like, people will watch you, and some people will be bold enough to say, I want to join you, but not everyone. I was one of those. I was a bold one who saw my coach, and I said, I want what she has. She's a fit mom. She's all happy. She loves her job, and I'm sitting over here on the couch just miserable with myself. I want that. So I took action, and I reached out to her. Maybe you'll do the same to me. I took action. I reached out, and then I was able to, see the potential in all this, but I know not everyone's that way. So that is what it came down to, and I kept on doing it. So for 4 years, those activities, those behaviors haven't changed. My business has changed. I've grown a team. So my time now during the day, usually on Thursdays, yesterday, I spent a lot of time talking with my coaches. How was your week? What are you working on? What are your goals? How can I help you? How can we talk through things? Like, I spend, time now with my coaches, but in the beginning, it was just me. In my first month, I had 1 challenger. So it was me helping 1 person. So the rest of the time was just spent me trying to grow and me trying to learn and understand the business. And then my second month, I had 3. So I now had 3 challengers to help. And now, I've helped hundreds of people over the years, and it doesn't matter the number. I've came up with a system and a process, and it's a system and a process that I'm able to teach my team. So that when they come on board, I know where they're coming from. I know where they're starting from, and I can go back to where I was on that first day 4 years ago and say, this is what you need to do to start. You need that hour a day. You need to be able to share your story and your own journey so that other people can relate to you. And I think so many people think, well, I don't have a story, and I used to think that. Like, I'm just a mom. I never overcame anything crazy, I didn't, it's not like I know a lot of people, they have these awesome postpartum journeys. I didn't have that. I was just the stay-at-home mom who saw potential and an opportunity. I took that opportunity and I turned it into something phenomenal that's allowed our family to be blessed in more ways than I can count. And I actually sat down the other day and wrote it as just like a little reminder. It's a notebook for my daughter. But I was writing it down, and just all the ways that this business has blessed me and allowed us to really change the course of our lives. And I think back to, if my coach didn't sit there and share this opportunity and her happiness and her love of what she didn't share that so openly, I don't know where I would be. So I think that now, if I didn't share the potential that this business has to not only, financially reward you and physically reward you, but just the all-around business aspect of what we have, I feel like it's like nothing else. And I would stand on a rooftop and scream it. And I was talking with a friend right before I did this video. I'm like, I don't know why everyone else doesn't do it. And I don't know the reason why, but it took me a while to come on board. So I invite you to ask questions. If I can help explain anything or give you more information, I would love to do so. This business has blessed me in more ways. It took time, a lot of hours, a lot of grit. I sacrificed sleep. I sacrificed outings with my friends, sacrificed TV. but I found that it was an amazing opportunity. And if I had to start over, I'd do it all over again. So thank you for listening. I look forward to talking to you more about this incredible opportunity.